Shalom, Yasharallah. This your brother Dawada, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Ruach Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, Aki, pushing this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So I wanted to do this here video, which, we constantly do videos on this all the time, but it just seems to be like a stumbling block and also something that's coming up into the conversation a lot more lately now. You having more and more people more or less to say debating over what the mark of the beast is. All right. And so, as our job, let me grab that real quick. Let me start there. As a matter of fact, as our job as the prophets. All right. This is what our job is to be. All right. This is Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 17. It says, "Son of man, I've made thee a watchman into the house of Israel." All right. So the men of the Lord, the prophets that was set up. All right. They're being set up to be watchmen, to basically give an alarm, to warn the people. All right. That's what you do when you let's say you out camping or some shit and they leave you out on fire watch while everybody is asleep. You got to sit there and watch the damn fire, make sure the fire go out, the fire don't spread and burn up the whole campground and everybody in it. If you're in the military, you have back in the olden days, you actually had men standing up on big guard towers looking out, but in modern days today, they got what? Men basically not in the radar tower, but they pretty much just watching radar, they basically on a watchtower. They watching for incoming enemies and things like that, or like what you call air traffic control at the airport, for more or less to say, giving you that military understanding, and the air traffic control tower, they sitting in there in the tower, in the watchtower, watching the radars, making sure that the airspace is clear of all the traffic and congestion of all the airplanes. All right, because you don't want a plane trying to take off on a runway where you have another plane trying to land on that same runway, or if you have a plane coming, taking off or coming in to land, sometimes, you'll be in an airplane flying in and you'll notice that your plane is just circling the airport, you can't quite land for the time being, but because why? Air traffic control in the air traffic control tower gave you warning. Hey, there's ice on the runway right now. You can't land. Or, hey, there was an accident on the runway, you can't land. Or there's another plane down there that's broke down, you can't land. Keep circling around so we can clear off the runway, then you can land, Or because if they wasn't there to give the pilots warning, all right, then, there could be an accident or a calamity. They'll walk right into the situation that is right there. This is why they have to give them warning. So this is the prophets, all right, job right now, all right, to be raising up the Israelites, telling them who they are, that they're Israelites, bringing them back to the law, statutes, commandments. All right. Also telling these other nations their future and their judgment and things like that. All right. But also, for these things, these wicked devices that Esau is coming with and all these, these snares and traps that he's preparing to try to catch Israel up in. All right. And these end time prophecies. All right. This is what this is what the men of the Lord's job is supposed to be doing, is to be giving the children of Israel warning, giving them guidance, giving them that lamp oil so they can see in the darkness, man. You're walking through the valley of the shadow of death. And guess what? The men of the Lord have that light. All right. Now they're trying to go out and give this here light unto the rest of the elect so that they can see in the dark. All right. But then you have a scenario where you have, Jake waking up, but they watching all these other camps. We've all done that. You know what I'm saying? We all woke up to watching these other camps and things like that. Hell, from my own testimony, first video I ever seen was the Apostles of Great Millstone. And, I didn't quite agree with that at first, over some little petty bullshit that I was just going through, I was being a hypocrite because they was cussing us the first time, whatever. But nevertheless, once I realized that they was on point, they was right, and I still didn't know they was the apostles, but I knew that the type of people that was out on the highways and the byways in that fashion, they had the truth, right? So I started watching these other camps, so I didn't know there was a difference between the camps or whatever, whatnot, started watching some IUIC, ISUPK. But then I immediately knew ISUPK was something wrong with them. Like, these niggas gonna get your ass killed. They extra militant, whatever, whatnot, They all on this black power type movement type of shit, And IUIC, they was real docile, like, it's like, y'all, this is like a Christian church, Then I, started watching Zabak. Now, Zabak, I used to watch a lot from Zabak, growing up in this truth, watching him and, a couple of the other brothers in their groups, not their group, but, a couple other camps as well, too, like the San Francisco camp of GMS, DTA, the Men of Valor brothers, I watched quite a few things, but, before I really got hooked on the GMS, I was watching, one of the last groups I started watching because I was eating at everybody else's table, but it wasn't filling, Then I started watching Zabak. Zabak was bringing out a lot of shit. But then guess what? there was certain things about him that I was just like not really. Nah, I'm like, yo, man, this look a little more like entertainment. You just look like you trying to get a crowd of people around you, whatever, whatnot, just to entertain them. But nevertheless, as you grow into this, you understand the little differences between these camps. And yes, there is a difference between the camps. You have a lot of people that first come into Israel and they find out about there's different camps, and then they start going in on certain things like, hey, why is there a controversy between the different camps, or why is there scuffles, or why is there debates between the different groups? Why can't you have a unity group? Why can't everybody come together, And the reason is because why? The scriptures say, can two walk together unless they be on one accord? They got to be in agreement with one thing, You can't be driving your car and have your front tires going forward and your back tires going backwards. Your car's not going to really go nowhere, You have to all be moving in the same uniform fashion in the same direction, But nevertheless, dealing with these other with these other camps and stuff like that, it's on a point to where, the Most High is not the author of confusion, but when you bring in these different philosophies and these different doctrines, you have people that sincerely trying to learn, and you have different people teaching different things, like let's say the name, GOCC, say Ahaya and Yeshaya. But, you have some camps that don't tell you the name, or some camps tell you it's not important. But here at GMS, we tell you what the name is, the Father's name is Yahweh and the Son's name is Yahushua. We give you the full breakdown, the full understanding, so you're not walking around confused like what the Most High's name is, calling them whatever, because why? The Most High sent forth his prophets with 100% truth, all right, to break these things down and to give it unto the children of Israel, all right? Matter of fact, before I get to this, let me go and break that down real quick. So this is, let me go back to the Old Testament real quick. This is Daniel chapter 12, verse 4. It says, but thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book even to the time of the end, all right, which is talking about these breakdowns in the scriptures. You're not going to be able to understand the scriptures, right? It says, many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. Now let me jump down to verse 9. And he said, go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed to the time of the end. So the prophecies in these breakdowns will be all sealed into the end, all right? Verse 10, many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. So don't stumble at being purified and made white. That's a redundant statement. Purified and made white. White is pure. You're going to be made clean, basically. You're being baptized by this here word. You're being cleansed of all of your wicked ways, But guess what? None of the wicked, it says, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand. All right? Because why? The wicked, they're not going to get this. They're going to stumble at all these things. Hey, has Israel not obtained what it seeketh for? Yea, but the elect has obtained it, but the rest was blinded, So 2/3 of our people are not going to get this, all right? But guess what? The Most High, all right, because right there where we just read it, everything was sealed. Let's go to Revelation 5. And it says, and I saw 5:1, and I saw in the right hand of him that sat on a throne a book written within, and on the backside sealed with the 7 seals. And I saw a strong angel proclaiming with a loud voice, who is worthy to open the book and to loose the seals thereof. So in layman's terms, what's going on is basically, John is looking at the fact of the matter of, in a metaphoric sense, that the scriptures is all sealed. The breakdowns is all sealed. You can't you can't get none of these here breakdowns. It's gonna all be sealed to you. So you could basically be reading through the scriptures and you'll never be able to understand what any of these meanings are. You in the book of Revelations, you see this multi-headed beast coming up out the water, and you think it's an actual beast. You talking about reading the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, but you don't know who that is. You read about the mark of the beast, but you don't know what that is. All right. These things are all being sealed to where nobody can understand this. All right. This is what happened in the olden times. All right. Now, as we read in here, time has gone by now. All right. So it says, verse 2, and I saw a strong angel proclaiming with a loud voice, who is worthy to open the book and to loose the seals thereof. And no man in heaven nor on earth, neither under the earth, was able to open the book, neither to look thereon. So basically what it's saying, nobody was able to break down these here scriptures. No matter how hard you studied, no matter what school you went to, you weren't going to get these breakdowns, right? Verse 3, and no man in heaven nor on earth, neither under the earth, was able to open the book, neither to look thereon. Verse 4, and I wept much because no man was found worthy to open and to read the book, neither to look thereon. Verse 5, and one of the elders said unto me, weep not, behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, had prevailed to open the book and to loose the 7 seals thereof. All right, so basically, Yahushua was the only one worthy enough to take and open up the scriptures, all right, or get the breakdowns to these here scriptures, all right? This is, and hey, like when we open up and you hear us sometimes say, like we'll be talking about the Most High, whether we be, giving them praises or whatever, whatnot, we'll say, like call halal Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Bashim Rakakodash, giving all praises to, saying the name of the Most High Yahweh, in the name of his son Yahushua, in the name of the Holy Spirit, because this is how we wind up getting this, all right? Yahushua was the only one able to get these here breakdowns, right? To open this here book. But right now, Yahushua is not on the earth talking to each and every one of us, giving us these breakdowns, right? So it's all through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man, the Holy Spirit, that we're able to understand these things, all right? This is how we're able to get this here understanding, all right? Which we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. But here, I just want to focus on that the scriptures were sealed. Nobody was able to get the breakdowns, right? Yahushua is the only one worthy enough to get the breakdowns, all right? Now let me go over to Revelation 14:1. And it says, and I looked, and lo, now just follow where we were going. Daniel, it said to seal up the words of the book to the times of the end. You ain't going to be able to get it, all right? So John wound up seeing that the scriptures was still sealed from the times back in the days all the way up to these times. It was sealed. Nobody was worthy to open it, but who? Yahushua. Now, what did Yahushua do when he got these breakdowns, right? It says, and I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with them 144,000, all right, which you can read that in Revelation 7, all right, which these are all Israelites, which you can read in Revelation 7, all right? You can also read in Amos, Amos 3 and 7, talking about how the Most High won't do anything unless he reveal his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. Let me grab that. This is Amos 3 and 7. It says, surely Yahweh power will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. All right, going hand in hand to what we're reading right here in Revelation. All right, so where we read Revelation 14. So again, backtracking, the book of Daniel, where you read the descriptions and the breakdowns was all, they was going to be sealed. The book of Revelation chapter 5 tells you that nobody was worthy to open that book, neither to look onto that book, so nobody was able to get the breakdowns. The only one worthy was Yahushua, right? Now, here it's saying in Revelation 14:1, it says, and I looked, and lo, a lamb stood, which the lamb is Yahushua, stood on Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having the Father's name written in their foreheads. Let's go back. Revelation 7 and 3, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants, all right, which we just read in Amos 3 and 7, about how the Lord won't do anything unless he reveal his secrets unto his servants. And who is his servants? The prophets, all right? It says, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants, which are the prophets, which are Israelites, which we're about to read right now, servants of our power in their forehead, all right? This is the same mark, all right? The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, these here breakdowns, which we are going into, right? And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000, which we just read. Now, where did these people come from? It says, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes, not of the earth, but it says of all the tribes of the children of Israel. Okay, now when you go to verse 5, I'm just giving you an example, because there's 12 tribes, 12,000 out of each of these tribes. It says, verse 5, out of the tribe of Judah was sealed 12,000, of the tribe of Reuben was sealed 12,000, of the tribe of Gad was sealed 12,000. So this is where you're going to get this 144,000 from that you're reading about over here in Revelation 14. All right, going full circle. So just to give you an understanding, the book of Daniel, the prophecies was sealed. Book of Revelation chapter 5, nobody was worthy to open it but Yahushua. What did Yahushua do? Amos 3 and 7, the Lord will do nothing but he revealed his secrets unto the servants, the prophets. Okay, we're reading right here in Revelation 14 and 1 about how Yahushua was standing there with the 144,000. We read in Revelation 7 how the 144,000, 12,000 out of the 12 tribes of all of the children of Israel. Okay, so the prophets are all going to be Israelites. Okay, so continuing on, verse 2, it says, and I heard a voice from heaven as the voice of many waters and the voice of great thunder. And I heard a voice of harpers harping with their harps. And they sung as if it were a new song. All right, a new song. All right, now this here new song isn't really a new song, but you have to understand. Let me grab that real quick. That's 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day, all right, the day of the Lord shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. All right, so the falling away first had to happen first. All right, and that falling away is talking about what? We will fall from knowing who we were as Israelites. All right, our nationality, our customs, our heritage, everything that we had was basically taken away from us. All right. So it says, Revelation 14 and 3, and they sung as if it were a new song before the throne. So according to the fall and the way that happened, we was reprogrammed over here to think of ourselves as so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, believing we were westernized Christians, okay, believing on Jesus and God and so on and so forth. And we're so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, so on and so forth, right? This is the song that we were singing as we was going around. Hey, what's your race? Oh, I'm black. Oh, I'm Mexican. So on and so forth. We Americans. We Christians. We praise God and Jesus, or we praise Jesus, who is God. You know, this is the type of bullshit that we were singing beforehand. All right, this fucked up ass song, this offbeat, no swag having that song, man. It's just it's like some goddamn heavy metal, some death metal to your fucking ear, you know, and some headphones, just a bunch of screaming and noise. It's like, what the fuck is going on? That's what the hell we was doing. It made no real provisions. All right, but now, all right, it says that verse 3 again, Revelation 14:3, and they sung as if it were a new song, as it were a new song, because it's not a new song. We had already known this, but we forgot the lyrics to the song and we butchered it all up. You know how you listen to a song, you know the song or whatever, whatnot, but then you sing the song, you be jamming to it, but then you don't hear the song for a while, and then you hear the song again. Like right now, you know, like if you're in your 30s or so on and so forth, think back to some shit from the 90s and shit, the early 90s and shit like that, some goddamn Soul for Real and Heavy D and the, you know, Heavy D and Soul for Real, you know, Candy, you're the same, you're my candy rain. See, how the fuck is that word? See, I'm doing it right now. You trying to think of how this shit go, and you might be singing the song, you sing the song, and you start mumbling some shit. Have you ever done something? Nah, nah, nah. That's how we was, man. Because we had a zeal, but not according to knowledge. So we didn't know this here truth. But now, and we used to go to church, pick up the Bible, profess that we were religious. But now we got corrected. We heard the song, we listened to the song, we rehearsed the song, we understand what the lyrics are saying now, and now we're singing the song with perfection. You know, we all on key, we all on the water Yahabashim Yahushua, man. The water Yahabashim Yahushua. Call halal Yahabashim Yahushua. Hopefully this bastard go get his ass. Hey, so what you just heard was one of these little Edomites on one of these little small motorcycles or some shit, right? You know, and what's crazy is Jake or Esau be riding dirt bikes, motorcycles, the little motorcycles, the go-karts and shit. They'll never get fucked with. But Jake, I realized that Jake, when we was little, we had a go-kart, and every time we rode it, the police got called. You know what I'm saying? What's the point of fucking selling this shit if we can't ride this shit? But they do that to Jake. But nevertheless, you know, I'm over here in the park shooting this here video, and the K9 unit had them rolled up and parked right beside my ass. You know what I'm saying? But now Esau just rolled by that little motorcycle and he crept his ass up out of here. But nevertheless, you know, hey, call halal Yahabashim Yahushua, man. Hey, man, we just over here doing the work, man. We ain't doing nothing wrong. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I do look a little suspicious being a so-called black man just sitting in the car at the park. Hey, but look, we ain't doing nothing but doing the work of the Lord, man. But and Esau just pulled off because he realized ain't shit was going on and wanted to go fuck with him or fuck with other Edomites. But nevertheless, going back to the lesson, what I was trying to get at, you know, you know songs from way back in the day, but you start, you know, or you start singing some old Luther Vandross or some Teddy Pendergrass or some shit. You start humming the song, it's all fucked up. But now, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's your favorite song again. You know every word to the song. You singing it backwards, forwards, karaoke style. They dropping the beat out, and you still sing it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you in the spirit, in season, out of season. You hear the beat, you just take off. That's what we doing right now. So this is why it says as if it were a new song, because it's not a new song. It's a song that we had already known, but what? There had to be a falling away first. All right. And after that falling away came, now we're being built back up. All right. Now, and part of this building us back up, the scriptures say that the Most High is not the author of confusion. All right. So we're not going to be confused out here. This is why he set up his prophets. All right. Let me finish verse 3. We're going to go back to where we was at in Ezekiel 3 and 7. It says, and they sung as if it were a new song before the throne, before the four beasts and the elders, and no man, keep right here, and no man could learn that song. Nobody could get these understandings. This song here is the same. It's a metaphor. All right. This song here, I mean, it's a pretty dope ass metaphor, because think about it. Think when you talking about a song. Song is what? Music, right? What is a song comprised of? What is the elements that make up a song, right? You know what I'm saying? A catchy beat, something you can kind of rock to. But when you break down the dynamics of a song, like the words that you write into a song, what is that component called? It's called verses. All right. What we're reading right here in verse 3. All right. We're reading in verse 3. And when you got a song and the break, you know, how you set up a song, you got different verses in a song, right? Now, inside those verses, you got different lines in the song, or like we reading here, scripts. So verse 3 says, you know, verse 2, verse 3, they're all verses, but each verse say something different, right? So it says, and they sung as if it were a new song before the throne, before the four beasts and the elders, and no man could learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. And the reason this was like a new song because why? There was that Falling Away first. You had plantation Christianity come up and all this discombobulation happening. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was all confused and shit. You know what I'm saying? Babylon. Hey, that's the fuck. That's why Babylon the Great. Now you know what I mean? Confusion, Atlantic confusion. You know what I'm saying? Discombobulated. You thrown in. That's what the fuck that shit mean. Thrown into the state of confusion. Discombobulated. You know what I'm saying? That's what the fuck this place is over here, man. All right, but nevertheless, we was growing up singing some fucked up ass Christianity doctrine. Jesus, the white man, bowing down to him, so on and so forth. All right, but now we waking up. The Most High is showing us the clear ways, man. So this is going into, how do I say, clearing up the stumbling blocks that we have. So when you reading about, you know, well, let me just go in order to what I'm trying to say so I don't jump the gun here. Going back to Ezekiel 3 and 17, all right? And this is just all through the spirit now because I only meant to pull out two scriptures, but nevertheless, hey, we closing up these breaches, man. You know what I'm saying? We casting down the wicked imaginations of these goddamn hypocrites and these wicked ass people out here, man. All right. So going back to Ezekiel 3 and 17, it says, "Son of man, I've made thee a watchman into the house of Israel." All right. So again, we on that watchtower or in air traffic control. All right, making sure that you goddamn land safely and you take off safely so you don't crash and burn. All right, son of man, I made thee a watchman into the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the words at my mouth. All right, we're not taking our own words or in our own heart, our own minds, thinking of what we're going to say. All right, it says, hear the words at my mouth and give them warning from me. All right, so what? The Most High, what we just was reading, we went through all of this. Daniel, what is it? Daniel 12. All right, 12, 4, 9. You know what I'm saying? Daniel 12 and 4 and then Daniel 12 and 9, you know what I'm saying, 9 and 10, you know what I'm saying, goes into what? The book would be sealed. The breakdowns would be sealed off. Nobody was going to be able to understand this. Revelation 5 said nobody was worthy to open the book but Yahweh Shai. Revelation 14, well, Revelation tell you who the 144,000 is. Now, Revelation 14 tell you Yahweh Shai was with the 144,000. Amos 3 and 7 tell you that the Lord will do nothing but he revealed his secrets unto the servants, the prophets. Revelation 14 and 1 talk about Yahweh Shai standing on Mount Zion with 144,000, all right, having the Father's name written in their forehead, all right? The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, that's going to be the stability of your time for you to get through these times, all right? That light in the darkness, man, all right? This is the light coming into the world, but what? They love darkness rather than light, all right? But nevertheless, continuing on, the books were sealed. It was Yahweh Shai was the only one able to open it up. He gave it into his service, the prophets. The prophets are now being set up as watchmen unto the house of Israel. And now they're giving the breakdowns like we just read in Amos 3 and 7. The Lord will do nothing but reveal his secrets unto the servants, the prophets. The prophets are going through and breaking down these here prophecies to teach you, you hopeful elect members, this here truth, the breakdowns, all right, to raise you from the dead, according to Ezekiel 37, all right? But continuing on, let me read verse 18. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die. And this is all in the context of the mark of the beast, all right, which is the RFID chip. All right, it says, surely when I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, like in the mark of the beast. If you take this here chip, your ass getting put to death. All right. So the Most High even told you that. Like, we're going to go through the breakdown of all that and clear that all up. But the Most High clearly tell your ass, if you take that chip, your ass is going to die. You're going to have your part in the lake of fire. All right. It says, verse 18, when I say unto the wicked, all right, just like we saying now, or the Most High said, take that chip, your ass going to have your part in the lake of fire. Thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, or tell them some bullshit ass lie like, oh no, chips and no dip. You know what I'm saying? Or ain't no chip, it's Junior, ain't no chip. They lying, it's a philosophy. All right. You know what I'm saying? The Most High told your ass, if you take that chip, your ass gonna surely die. But what are you doing? All right. You know, you got a lot of people out here causing this here confusion. All right. Now, your ass could just be blinded. You know what I'm saying? And you just could be set up to be a false prophet. That could be your lot because there has to be people that fulfill that lot. All right. You could be a fucking sellout. All right. Which, hey, that's fine too. It's people who are gonna be set up to partake in that lot as well too. You know what I'm saying? You could just be ignorant and not fucking know. You know what I'm saying? But look, you need to take heed, put down your pride, study the scriptures, and see, you know, come reason with the Lord. See if this is not what he's telling you what it is, man. All right? Because it ain't no goddamn philosophy, man. Because if that was the case, we would all be dead already. Because just think about that bullshit, man. Where the fuck was we at before we woke up to this truth, man? Go back to Ezekiel 37. If you can understand any prophecies, you would understand Ezekiel 37. Let your ass know, motherfucker, you was already dead to this fucking world. You was in the philosophies of this here world, man. This is why you got to be baptized. This is why the old man got to be put to death. All right? So if the philosophies of this goddamn godforsaken place, all right, is the mark of the beast, motherfucker, we would have already been dead. There would have been we wouldn't have woke the fuck up. How the fuck you gonna have the RFID chip, and or how you gonna have the mark of the beast basically from birth? All right, how you gonna have the mark of the beast basically from birth, but then the Most High gonna wake you up? But then he say if you take the mark of the beast, you're gonna get put to death. Technically, we should all be put to death from birth then, if that's the case. That's not the fucking, no, that's not what it is, bro. That's not what it is. All right, that just don't make no fucking sense. All right, we was all, that's what the fuck waking up, that's what the fuck you out on the highways and the byways doing, waking up Israel, because why? They in the philosophies of this here world, man. They think they so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. They think they American citizens. That's the philosophies of this here place, man. They think it's all right to be homosexuals and shit. That's the philosophies of this place. Voting for a president and shit. Being in captivity. You know, when you on the highways and the byways and you trying to tell Israel who they are, what fucking state do you think that they in? According to you, they already got the mark of the beast. So why even fucking work with they ass if they already slated for death? Don't make no sense. Right? The Most High is not the author of confusion. He warned your ass to warn the people that the RFID chip, all right, or yeah, the mark of the beast is the RFID chip, all right? Not no goddamn philosophy, all right? It says, when I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speak to warn the wicked from his wicked ways to save his life. The same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thy hand. So for those that's out there teaching it's a philosophy or it's not the chip or whatever, whatnot, all right, and your congregation wound up taking the chip, they still gonna fucking die because they took the chip, all right? You know what I'm saying? But it's gonna be required at your hand. It's gonna be your fault that they fucking died. You know, the Most High gonna be like, listen, nigga, I set you up and I gave you the truth, but you still let these niggas astray, man. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, how much more is your judgment gonna be? They gonna wind up perishing for not knowing. You gonna perish for knowing the truth and leading them astray, man. You were set up to gather the sheep, and the scriptures say if you're not gathering, you scattering. All right, you workers of iniquity. You know what I'm saying? Haven't we prophesied in your name and so on and so forth? Yeah, it is. You know, some of these other guys they know the Most High's name and they teaching that name. All right, but at the same time, you're not teaching 100% truth. All right, so let me go from there to let me get back to my original scriptures I wanted to grab. Matter of fact, let me grab one more script. This is no. Let me go to let me think about it. Isaiah 14 and 12. Actually, I'm gonna read Isaiah 14, 12 through 14. It says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which did weakest the nations? Real quick as a clarification on this here scripture, this is not talking about a war in heaven with the Most High and, you know, who you like the spiritual demon Satan. They ain't never they don't fight. You know what I'm saying? The spiritual demon Satan, this motherfucker is more righteous than anybody that's walking this fucking earth. All right, because the scriptures say that the angels they follow order. They don't go off. All right, they don't go off. They whatever the Most High tell them to do, that's what the fuck they gonna do. You want an account of that? Go read in the book of Job. You can start chapter 1. All right, so that's not what that's talking about. You're not gonna have the spiritual demon Satan fighting with the Most High up in heaven. The spirits, the how you say, the angels and the demons, they don't go off. All right, they follow the commandments of the Most High to the T. They don't go off. They don't even ask why. You know what I'm saying? The Most High tell them to go do something, but why, Lord? They don't ask why. The only rebuttal they got, it is done, Lord. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. You know what I'm saying? They don't go off. But nevertheless, it says, how art thou fallen from heaven? This heaven is not talking about the spiritual realm where the Most High dwelleth, right? This heaven is talking about your rulership, your position of power. Right now, the so-called white man is dominating the earth. He's ruling the earth, all right? So it says, how art thou fallen from heaven? Because he's sitting on the throne right now. Who can really depose him? Is really going to take, you know, how the Most High has it all set up. It's going to take all these other nations combined to take out Esau, Edom, alongside with thermonuclear warfare, alongside with the chariots, alongside with just all these calamities going down all at once, all right? So really, any of these other nations, it really ain't got no goddamn strength against this here kingdom at all. Like, not on their own will at all. That's not gonna happen. But the question is being posed, how art thou fallen from heaven? How you fall out of, you know what I'm saying? You the fastest runner in the whole world, you know what I'm saying? Or you Muhammad Ali, you knock niggas out all day. You Mike Tyson, you knock niggas out in 12 seconds in the first round, right? You see Mike Tyson going and having all these, you know, knockouts in the first round or whatever, whatnot, or Muhammad Ali just with this unbeatable streak, just playing over niggas and shit. You know what I'm saying? The first time you see this nigga get in the ring and get knocked out in the first 3 seconds, he's like, how is the champ falling? You know what I'm saying? How is he falling from instead, you know? You know what I'm saying? Really what it's saying is like, damn, he, you know, that's the end of his so-called climb, that the order. He didn't reach the height of his so-called pinnacle, and now it's time for him to come out of his power seat, all right? This is talking about the so-called white man falling out of his power seat, his rulership seat. This is, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou? Now, Lucifer, son of the morning, going back into what? The enlightened ones. You know what I'm saying? That's what the Illuminati go into. You know, they call themselves the enlightened ones, the so-called Illuminati, all right? So it says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which did weakest the nations? All right? So, continuing on, verse 13. For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. Okay, it says, it's like, give me 1 second. It says, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. All right, so going into this where it says, I will be like the Most High, what are some of the things that, you know, just dealing with the Most High? All right, you know, the Most High is like omnipresent, omnipotent, you know, omnipresent, you know, all, you know, he's everywhere all at once, you know, omnipotent, all powerful, you know, I believe omniscient, what is it, omnipresent, you know, all being, omnipotent, all powerful. Then you have like another one is all knowing. I think it's another word, but nevertheless, the Most High know every damn thing. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing that he don't know. He know the hearts and the minds of men. All right. He know every one of your thoughts. He know your biological clock when it's ticking, when he gonna pull that time card. You know what I'm saying? He know when you gonna wake up, when you gonna go to sleep, who you gonna fall in love with, what you thinking. You know what I'm saying? How your body digests this or that, how you gonna react to certain foods, all these different things the Most High know about you. Before you even know it about your own self, you know, before you even born, the Most High know about you and what you was gonna do and the type of DNA, so on and so forth. You got the type of children you're gonna produce and the type of traits they're gonna have, right? But guess what? Esau wants to know this now. You know, like you see him having these designer babies, or we can create this type of baby, that type of baby, or whatever, whatnot with your genes, and we can take out certain genes in your DNA that you know promote this sickness or that sickness or whatever, whatnot. We could change all these things, you know. But also we want to be able to track you all down and know where you at all points of times. Have this microphone inside of you so we can hear what you're saying at all times. Like, look around you. You got all these damn microphones and cameras around you all day as it is now. Your cell phone, really your smartphone got a camera on it, a microphone on it that's always on and always recording, whether you know it or not. You know what I'm saying? Even your modern day cars, you know, modern day cars, not even your newest cars, but most modern day cars from like 2000, like 7, 8, 9. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these cars actually got cameras on the inside of their car, you know, like around the rearview mirror area, you know. But then now you got the newer cars now that's got the backup cams with the little TVs in the inside of the car, but they all got internet on there. So that not only are they tracking you, they can give that live video feed and microphone feed inside your car. They know all the things about you, man. You know what I'm saying? Like what they setting up now, George Bush wrote this in a lot of the Real ID Act with the biometric system. You know, biometrics goes into the measurement of life, all right? This is what the so-called white man wants to implement you with this RFID chip to be able to know, to be able to measure all things about you, all the things about your life, just like, you know, your iPhones and shit. They got a little sleep thingy where they can tell you how long you've been asleep, how good your sleep is, whatever, whatnot, and track all your trends, your footsteps, how many steps you taking, how many calories you burning, how much fat you burning. You know, all these different measurements of life that, you know, they selling you right now. This is what Esau's doing. He's trying to know all these things about you. The Most High know your blood pressure, what your blood pressure is at 2:30 in the morning, you know, how long you going to sleep, if your sleep was good or whatever, what. Now, he know all these things, but the so-called white man wants to know all these things so he can control all of these things, man. All right? So let me go from there to Revelation 13. Revelation 13 and 16, it says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. First of all, if you're going to cause all, that means you got dominion over everybody. You got everybody in the subjection. Everybody's up under your feet, right? Well, we do know that the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. You know what I'm saying? And there are a couple stragglers out there, but nevertheless, Esau's pretty much dominating everybody. But he wants to have full control over everybody. All right? So it says he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right? So rich and poor, free and bond, everybody going to want to having to get this here chip, whether you a so-called elite. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the elite elites might not have, the Rothschilds and them might not have them, but everybody else is going to pretty much have it, because this is going to be a way to fully control everybody. Because why? You get out of line, you want to be a whistleblower, you got these so-called perverse thoughts according to them, they can just turn your chip off. You know, you could be a billionaire, you want to go, you know, how they, oh, we want to move out to the wilderness or whatever and do this and that and live off grid. All right, well, fuck it. Well, we're going to just turn your chip off. You know what I'm saying? Now your $13 million is frozen. You know how they freeze people accounts and stuff like that, you know? So, you know, this is what he's is going to implement to all these people so he can have full massive control over people, all right? It says, verse 17, and no man might buy or sell save he that have the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So you're not going to be able to buy or sell or make any transactions. More or less, it's going to be like a authentication token. All right. Now you can go on YouTube and look up, and I've done plenty of videos showcasing this. Over in China, they have what they call the Chinese social credit system. All right. And basically what it is pretty much everything is over there got chips in it. And they got the cameras up on everything, just like they do here in America, all the red lights. And as you see, they implementing the 5G system and all these new red lights with the cameras in them. And they also got these new street lights that you can't even tell, but they got cameras inside of them as well. All right. But nevertheless, you know, and in the cars with the cameras and everything activated, everything, smart homes, TVs, cameras, everything got internet based with microphones and shit all throughout your whole house now. You know, the last thing to be chipped and put online is going to be your ass, you know. But nevertheless, it says, oh, going back to the authentication token. All right. The Chinese social credit system, you know, they say if you do certain things like litter, smoke on trains, throw trash out of high-rise buildings, jaywalk, you know, you talking bad about the government, you know what I'm saying? Or you just a shitty person, like you litter or some bullshit like that, you know, they can lower your social credit score. And if your social credit score gets too low, they can start banning you from certain things like traveling. You know, you'll lose your passport. You can't travel, can't get boarding tickets. You can't get rent or mortgage nowhere. Can't get a job. Can't enroll your kids into school. You see what I'm saying? So basically, you ain't going to be able to buy or sell, but more or less than that is more of an authentication token because why? If you can't get rent nowhere, you can't get no place to stay, you're going to be homeless, all right? You can't put your kids in a school that, well, then you know, and it's over there, it's like, yo, you against the law because you're, how they say, a eyesore to society because you're homeless now. You need to get a job. You need to be put into this here system. Your score is perpetually going to keep going down because why? You can't get a job because your score is already too low. You can't get housing because, you know, your score's too low. Your kids can't go to school because, you know, your score's too low. Ultimately, now you can't get no damn food because you broke as shit. You know what I'm saying? And even if you did have money on there, you can't access none of your money because you bad to the society anyway. Even if you did have the money, you can't make a purchase because you know, you're not authorized to come inside these here stores and shop at, you know. You've been banned from this here store, you know, like you can get banned from Walmart for being an asshole in Walmart. Well, just think about it. Well, if your chip don't work or you know, you got such a low social credit score, you can't come shop in our store. All right. So it says, verse 18, here's wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. His number is 603 Now I want to go into these here words real quick to further break down and further edify to prove what this RFID chip is or what the mark of the beast is. All right. Which it is the RFID chip being implemented inside of your body. All right. As it says here. All right. Verse 16. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or on their foreheads. Let's go into this here word mark. All right. The word there is charagma. All right. It says a stamp, an imprinted mark. Of the mark stamped on the forehead or on the right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist. All right. Now we know that this is basically just a you know, how do I put it? They basically following after basically these Babylonians in the way that they got their shit popping off. You know, Esau and his shit. You know what I'm saying? You gonna pledge allegiance fully to this here system, and you gonna basically be bowing down to Esau as your God versus the Most High. All right. So it says B, a mark branded upon horses. All right. Like they still do it to this day, but you know, they used to go back in the olden days. The farmers would brand their horses with that hot iron, and they'll put a stamp inside of them to brand their horse to let or the cows or whatever to let the people know if the cow get out or whatever would not get lost. This is my cow. Or somebody try to steal them. Well, I got my brand marking right there on them, you know. But nevertheless, and to put that the same way here, it's going to be a mark. It says of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as a badge of the followers of the Antichrist, right? Then down it says a mark branded upon horses. Like I was going into ownership of your horses, cows, and so on and so forth. Well, same thing is when they're gonna brand your ass, you're gonna be a follower or possession to this this Edomite rulership, this system. All right, the mark of the beast system they fully implementing. All right, it says B, a mark branded upon horses, a thing carved, a sculpture, a graven work, an idolatrous image. So this here mark, all right, is gonna be a mark that's gonna show forth that you're gonna be a possession unto who? Basically the rulers of this wicked society, Esau, Edom, right? So it says going down, the Strong's definition, it says a scratch or etching, stamp, a badge of servitude, a sculpture, figure, statue, graven mark. All right, so it's an etching or a scratch, all right, or a sign of servitude. All right, so you're gonna be branded as property. All right, also to denote as being a slave under Esau, Edom. All right, but nevertheless, and it says a scratch or etching. So this is something that's gonna be scratched or etched inside of your skin. Now let's go further into this here word, karax, all right? It says, we just going further into this here word, all right? It says from karaxo, to sharpen to a point. It says through the idea of scratching, all right? So you sharpen to a point. And going down, it says a pale or a stake, a palisade or a rampart, pale between which earth, stone, trees, timber are heaped and packed together, all right? So basically, going into like a pale or a stake, right? Now, this here mark is going to be etched or scratched or engraved inside of your skin, right? Using what? Something that's sharpened to a point, like a pale or a stake, all right? So now, just think about this. I'm telling you that this RFID chip is the mark of the beast. How do they, now when somebody wants to go get an RFID chip, how do they give you the RFID chip? All right, they put it, it's like the size of a grain of rice. They put it inside of a syringe. Now, a syringe is pretty much like if you ever go give blood, all right, they put that needle in your arm. It's basically a needle, right? You know, they put the needle in your arm and draw the blood, or if you got to go get vaccines, that needle is a syringe, right? Now, a syringe is pretty much a hollow pointed needle, right? Whereas whatever, you know, if you draw on blood, the blood can flow through the hollow part of the needle. If you injecting somebody, you know, with like a vaccine, the vaccine is going to flow from the container part of the syringe through the hollow point of the needle, or through the hollow part of the needle is going to go through the point which pierces the skin, all right, to inject whatever it is, you know, whether it's a vaccine or whatever, to inject that vaccine inside the body. All right, this is the exact same way when we go into this here definition of this here word mark, how they telling you this mark going to be implemented. All right, it's going to be scratched, etched inside of your skin. All right, it's going to be, and the way it's going to be implemented through there is through something that's like a pale or a stake or shaving down to a point. All right, these syringes is going to basically inject you under the skin with this RFID chip, which is going to show as a sign of a mark of servitude or as a slave or possession unto this beast system. All right, now we can go a little further into this here word. It says it says to sharpen to a point akin to G1125 through the idea of scratching. So you're going to sharpen to a point, all right, sharp enough to scratch or to engrave or to cut through the skin, you know. It says a stake, by implication, a palisade, a rampart, military mound for circumvallation in a siege, a trench, all right. Let me go further into this right here. Oh, wrong word. All right, now this is going into the word like 666 more or less to say. Psi sigma. All right, psi sigma. All right. Let me go into this here word. All right. So this is still going into that mark of the beast, right? So the word here for stigma, all right, it says from stixo, to stick or to prick. All right. Now, this is all going into the mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip, all right, which is going to be something used to be able to track you, know everything about you. All your information is going to be all into this little chip. It's going to be able to track you, used for authentication to get inside of, you know, like they show you the chip to start your car, get in your car, get in your house, make a payment, all these different things, you know. And if you don't have this here chip, just imagine with the new world we're going into with like the internet 2.0, everything is smart homes, smart cars, everything like this. They take away keys and all these types of things. You ain't gonna be able to use none of these new devices unless you got this damn chip. All right. So causing all, both small and great, to receive this here mark, to be able to be authenticated in this here system, to be able to do anything in there, make any kind of transaction. All right. But nevertheless, it's going to be a mark that's going to be implemented or inserted inside your skin through the way of scratching or etching to brand you as a servant or servitude under as the followers of this, how to break down, or the definition say, followers of the Antichrist. All right, this here beast system. All right, and it's going to be implemented by using something like a sharpened to a point, like a pail or a stake. All right, now here it says stixo, to stick, to prick, and this here sharpened thing to a point is going to wind up sticking and pricking you to implement this damn chip inside of you. Now, when you go into the RFID chips and you see how people getting them things put inside of them, this is exactly the way to get them put inside of them, through a goddamn syringe, man. All right. Nobody's just swallowing these things like pills and then they find their way to the right part of the body. No, they injecting them. All right. It says a marked pricked in or branded upon the body. All right. So again, this is not a philosophy or nothing like that. When you go into the breakdown of the scriptures, it's talking about the mark of the beast, and you go into these words and you go into the definitions of these here words. It's letting you know this is something that's going to be implemented inside of your body, put inside of your body. You know what I'm saying? And it's not going to be like somebody going to just hand you this. This is not a philosophy or nothing that's non-tangible. Right? You can't pick up a philosophy like that and just walk around with it and put it down whenever you want and forget about it. No, this is something that's more tangible. Like you can pick up your phone and walk around with it all day and then set it back down. That's something tangible. You know what I'm saying? But your dreams and your ideas and your fantasies, that ain't nothing you can actually physically pick up and hand that to somebody else, you know? Like these philosophies, you can't really pick this up. You know what I'm saying? You can't really pick homosexuality up and pass that to somebody else. You see what I'm saying? But this RFID chip is something physical. You could pick it up, you know what I'm saying, and give it to somebody, all right? So it says a mark pricked or branded upon the body. The ancient Oriental usage, slaves, all right? So what? Esau gonna make you a slave into a system. Slaves and soldiers bore the name or the stamp of their master or commander, branded or pricked, cut, in parentheses. Your skin has to be pricked or cut with that syringe, that hollowed out, sharpened to a point needle to inject the RFID chip beneath the skin. All right. It says, oh man, what's crazy was I don't know what the hell I was watching, but it was a little clip that they were showing, and this was in a movie or some shit or something. But they were showing this damn baby. Basically, it was a newborn baby, and they got a fucking injection in his forehead as a newborn baby, man. That shit was sickening. You know, and then they left this little thing on the top of his head, you know, and one thing I thought about was like, see, RFID chip. But, you know, Barack Obama in 2010 signed into law the, what is it, the Obama Brain Initiative program or some shit like that. But anyway, with that, he wrote in the law basically that it's lawful, or that basically all Americans was going to basically have to be microchipped, all right? They was going to have to get this here microchip. But they sold it under the guise of Alzheimer's, people forgetting their memories or whatever, whatnot. Then they resold it as like, oh, if you want to forget a memory, like you was raped and molested, we could erase that out of your mind at any point in time. Well, what else can they erase? And what can you do to stop them from erasing certain things inside of your mind? You know? But nevertheless, you know, Bush started with the Real ID Act. Obama went with the Brain Initiative program. You know, Elon Musk is working on this BCI or brain computer interface, all right, where they can connect basically your brain and your neural system to this RFID chip to make you computerized, you know. But nevertheless, you know, it's just like having an old school ass car, right, with no computer functions in your old school ass car. You got a 1976 Chevy Caprice or some shit, right? But you can upgrade that car a little bit to where, you know, like if you got a service engine light come on in your car, you could take it to the auto parts store and they could plug up your car to the computer and diagnose your car. Well, them older cars didn't have that shit, but I'm pretty sure that you can go, goddamn, it'll probably be a lot of work and a lot of money, but you can pretty much upgrade your car to get that put in, you know? But nevertheless, that's pretty much what they're trying to do to the body. They're trying to give you that upgrade because your body wasn't wired to have this computer type of shit in there, but now they're trying to make it to where your body can take and utilize all the functions of this damn chip, all right? But it says, a mark pricked or branded upon the body. To the ancient Oriental uses, slaves and soldiers bore the name or the stamp of their master or commander, branded or pricked, cut into their bodies to indicate what master or general they belong to. Right? Like I was going into with the cows. But look, ultimately the Most High said, look, you're going to either get my mark, which is this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of who you are, who I am, who everybody else is, and you know, this is going to bring you into salvation, or you're going to get Esau's physical mark. All right? You know, the Most High's mark is a spiritual mark, which is going to have a physical effect on you. All right? Because his mark is opening up your mind through wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of this. And, you know, if you truly believe in that and have faith in that, you're going to walk after it. So you're going to see a physical change from you taking this spiritual mark. But Esau is going to give you a physical mark that's going to lead to a spiritual change, all right? You take this goddamn physical mark that he going to give your ass, this microchip, which these are two different words between the mark in Ezekiel 9 and 4. All right, that word is tawa, which means exemption from judgment, all right? That's not a physical thing that's not a physical mark that you're going to have. All right, that's just the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of these here scriptures. All right, like we broke down, Yahushua only gave this to the 144,000. All right, that had the Father's name written in their forehead, the ones that this was opened up to. But this is talking about a physical mark. All right, something that's physically going to be put inside of your body. All right, so we want to bring that out to further clarify these situations and these things that we got going on, because this is like a big misunderstanding amongst Israel. Israel thinks that they confuse, they torn between the different camps, or they wonder why we can't come together, because you have people teaching this is a philosophy when you clearly go into these here words, and people are watching these videos, thousands of people watching, thousands of people follow these people, but they lead them straight to the slaughter, man. All right, so we have to clear up all these misconceptions and let you know what it is, because going back to Ezekiel 3 and 7, we supposed to be giving that warning. All right, going to verse 18, we telling the wicked, trying to warn the wicked from his wicked ways, so that the blood is off of our hand. We're not trying to sugarcoat and hide none of this. All right, but nevertheless, I'm gonna go ahead and close out with that. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying into the elect. Until next time, I say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you. I can push this truth and sincerity in the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Till next time, I say, stay strong and shalom.